Gibby, what do you got for us?
You could let's be clear about this.
You lost to $2,000. Welcome back to Gus and Gawny. This is going to be one of the more intriguing episodes we've had for a while because Angus has rocked up with no notes.
Yep, well, I mean, it's 2022 and the podcast is done online, so it shouldn't surprise Max that my notes are in digital form, but that's okay. I'm here.
Also, it is one of the great days, and Gibby's here as well, Gibby. One of the great days, it's risotto day.
Well, as you can see, the people who consume our podcast over a visual medium, I've got a nice steaming bowl of risotto here, and it's delicious. I'm going to have to wait about 40 minutes till I can have another bit, though, because here we are recording podcast day.
Yeah,
How
we
are
are.
you, mate?
It's podcast day, middle of the day, hump day. We've got a great guest later on who's doing some great things from a charity point of view.
Yeah, everyone will know who it is.
And he'll be at
Two-timer.
4th or 5th?
What are we at 4, I think?
I reckon he'd be
Jonesy,
at 5th.
Hamish.
Lever? Did he?
The
Well, he
first
wasn't
one
a guess. That's
doesn't
a.
Yeah. We'll work it out. Someone will be able to tell us.
Someone will tell us.
How are you, Gibby?
I'm going well. Got one of the friend of the podcast t-shirts, which is
Did
great
you pay
news.
for it, or you got
I didn't
that
pay
one?
for it. Got a little,
that's all right.
little freebie.
It's all about who you know.
I'm a friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Sales going very well.
That's
330 gone
Whoa!
in 24 hours. Only 170 remain. By the time the podcast goes out, who knows if any will be left?
That's huge.
And all money going to M&D thanks to Zurich
Yeah, I
Insurance.
mean, thankfully this time all the money's going where.
What are we talking about? 1,800. Sorry, 18,000.
What are you
Roughly
talking about, mate?
towards MND already.
Oh, so
Already.
far, probably
Yeah.
somewhere around that mark. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's-
great start.
Well done,
Tracking
Gus
well.
and Gawny fans.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
Did you use a filter?
Sorry?
Did you use a filter in the photo?
No, I didn't.
We are glowing.
Yeah, I've got some really good feedback about that.
Did you use a filter?
I didn't. I swear to God, I didn't. I'm not sure if these
I
guys.
edited the photo.
Yeah, so
But
you
edited-
edited
I
it.
didn't use a filter, I just edited it well. But
We
it was a
look-
nice photo.
We look gorgeous.
Danielle was pretty happy with it. Tell you who else, and this is obviously a huge vote of confidence.
Yep.
Nicknamed the Big Sexual. Sam Wiedemann said I looked really good. So if he
Yep.
thinks that,
Yeah, big supple.
then you know, gee, I must be doing something right. I have to be honest at this point, and let's assume that this comes out and we've sold all the shirts. When I heard that they were $50 a shirt,
You're nervous?
I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because it's probably
That's the
exorbitant.
price of shirt.
And it's
Cotton.
an
You get a
expensive shirt.
$10 cotton on.
I mean, sure, it looks good, but
But where's that going? That's going
exactly.
on to cotton on.
So I'm really proud of how we've come together for a good cause, and 25 grand is a significant amount of cash. That's probably the most we've ever raised.
And you've misplaced yours already, or?
Mine, you know what? I actually got in trouble from Maisie and Rick because they didn't have one. I wore it to weights, and they said you're not allowed to wear it in weights.
But it's got the sponsors.
That's what I said, and they said that's not allowed because there's one that isn't on there. Hertz, I think.
But aren't you a leader?
I said that. And then what you got to understand is that Stephen May's 150 kilos and 190 centimetres and can squash me if required. So I took the shirt off. It's at home.
That's fair.
I love the shirt. It's good. It's a great shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Quickly go to the game. Sure. Who won the Brayshaw Cup this week?
Well, I mean, Andrew
Andrew got it for the first time.
three consecutive wins for me. He's broken his duck.
Yep.
3-1 now. And he was pretty happy about it too, I've got to say.
Is that the first thing he said to you?
So before I took him, I had to drive him home because he stayed another night. And before I'd even seen him after the game, he was interviewed and apparently started potting me.
Okay.
Said I've knocked him off and now he's my Uber driver, taking me home, taking me out to dinner.
Did he say something about you having your top on after round 6 wins and top
Yeah.
off in post-match meetings?
Nah, didn't say anything like that.
That was weird. Did we ever talk about that? How he had his top off on
I
TV?
think we did.
Yeah, there was a bit to
addressed
that
it.
though.
Yeah.
You don't have to go
We
through that.
we don't go through it, but Andrew had his shirt on, did he?
Shirt was on, so you know.
Humble in
Humble in
victory. I
defeat
like that.
and in victory.
Yeah.
So no, he was good, and they played well to their credit. I spoke to you, Gibby, after the game, and I said
Good chat.
it was a good chat, wasn't it?
It was very loud in there. The kids were going.
Do you do post-match
crazy.
stuff?
I do.
I normally have Tess.
Yeah, one each.
Oh, he's a helper, mate. He's a helper.
Helper.
Yeah.
He does. You know,
All hands
he
on
just-
deck.
He just helps out sometimes.
Do you reckon you'll get? I've noticed Libby Birch is being promoted into a dual Russell Robinson
Yeah.
role.
Match day MC.
Are you a bit stiff there?
Well, it's not really in my game day job.
I know, but what
routines.
we've done from like an avenue point of view with what we've created here, surely they've realised this guy. Like we got a little weapon here.
Well, I've been overlooked.
Well,
You've been
clearly
overlooked
not.
for Birchie.
Who's the
Clearly not.
powers that be? So who makes those decisions?
I'm not sure who
'Cause
makes
you're
those decisions.
You're an up and comer.
Yeah, obviously whoever's making those decisions isn't watching the Gus and Gawny podcast.
I'd love the Weebly to be updated with In-ring announcement.
I forgot that Weebly existed.
It probably hasn't had any clicks recently.
Yeah.
So
In-ring announcement.
Go on, sorry.
In-ring announcer. Is that what the people are? The wrestlers that bring people?
Yeah.
That's what the Libby Birch was doing. Like she's an announcer. What's
crowd
that role?
warmer, that sort of
Crowd warmer.
MC.
Yeah, okay. When's the last time you updated your Weebly?
Not for a little while. I can do that.
Okay.
It's
Updated.
been done post grand final.
Okay. Nice.
Soon enough.
Anything else from the game?
Votes.
Yes, votes. Last week, the votes went to May, Sparrow, Tim McDonald, and Rivers, the Gus and Gawny votes.
Yeah.
For those that missed last week, basically, we're going to try and come up with an award so we have an excuse to get a guest on towards the end of the year. And we're trying to go away from what everyone else votes, but not far away. So people that portray Gus and Gawny type values.
Yeah, that's what I remember, the Gus and Gawny type values. I chose Trent Rivers because he termited a ball out of bounds.
Yeah, which is a Gus and Gawny value.
Yeah, obviously.
I chose Sparrow because he never gave up. We should have given up this podcast literally probably after Jake Lever in episode 1, and we decided to keep going. So that's the sort of vibe we're getting this week.
I've got Toby Bedford.
Bedford.
Not only has he helped us from a social media point of view, providing some snippets, we were able to put out his goal, which was fantastic. But pre-game, I saw him, so he's lining up in the 22 for I think maybe the second time for the season. He goes over to Luke Dunstan, who's the sub, and genuinely gave him some advice on how to be sub, which I think is just a good quality, which we value.
Bedford gets his first vote of the day.
What about you?
You want me to go next?
I can go if you want.
I'd like you to go.
So bear with me on this one. Last week I linked it to one of our sponsors, Green Zone Termites. So this week I've chosen to link it to one of our other sponsors. So I've gone with Olive at lock because this week when Stephen May went down, Sam Wiedemann, out of his depth, thrown down the wrong end, had to lock down defend.
Wow.
One of the Fremantle's key forwards. They were getting on top of us because we obviously lost Maisie and Pets had a bit of a sore knee. So Weedo for his lockdown role, sponsored by Olive at lock.
Yeah, I like that.
My one vote goes to another sponsor, funny enough, Bailey Fritz Electrical, of all the work they do. And to be fair, he was pretty electrifying up in the forward line. So Bailey Fritz gets my vote. And we'll ask Tomo when he comes on who his one vote from the weekend is as well. Could be from the KCF Frankston game, which will be interesting.
How's the leaderboard looking?
Leaderboard is everyone is on one. May, Sparrow, Tim McDonald, Rivers, Bedford and Wiedemann all on one. Oliver, who's probably had 2 of the best games in a row, yet to poll.
And that's the beauty of this award. You know, it's not a midfielder's award.
We don't rack it up. That's not our value.
No, sorry. When's the last time you saw hundreds and thousands sponsoring us?
No.
We don't care about volume unless you're killing termites.
We're not big on this podcast in rewarding non-affiliated sponsors, but there was an ad that Max was on his personal channels last week that we should address. We're not going to mention who for, but
what best to address it?
What do you want to talk about?
The acting. Because personally, I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
I watched it, and I thought you actually nailed it. It was the most buy-in I've seen you provide in media.
Continuing a strong tradition of great acting. You know, if you want to talk about acting in ads.
Yeah, we've both gone out on a limb this year.
Hell yeah.
I'm eyeing off my next step.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the true hero in this because it's a quiet thing to talk about. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a give me the word.
You've started
not
with
many
quiet.
people talk about it. What's it called?
Oh boy.
Not many people talk about it. Like it's a taboo. Why do you think of that?
Well, because you started with quiet.
Yeah, so it's a taboo topic.
Okay. What is?
In keeping your genital area
Trimmed,
or we're not in the 40s anymore. And I think I've made a taboo topic nice thing to talk about. A lot of people want my discount code. I don't have one. I just got looked after myself, and it was a great ad.
And we're not allowed to, unfortunately, give the people at home any Gus and Gawny related sponsors, sort of links or anything like that. So this is more just a pump up for you, mate. Well acted.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Thank you. Hold on, let me keep going from your page.
I've got something for you, and this is huge. Obviously, we're.
Did I get another inside 50?
What was that?
Did I get another
inside 50 assist? No, I don't remember. I actually don't remember. This was more about, obviously, the people who listen to our podcast regularly would know that there's been a paradigm shift. Excuse me. In the way that the people on the podcast and as it extends to the rest of us, the way we play Paper, Scissors, Rock has changed.
One more go. Paradigm. That there's no. You looked at me.
I don't know it.
Yeah, I don't know it
A
either.
paradigm shift is like a shift in your reality. So a shift in the way that we do things, from going from rock to paper. Paper,
Why don't
scissors,
you
rock.
say that?
Yeah, right. So we've all changed from going with rock to paper. And I went out on a big limb on the weekend. Obviously, we've touched that on Andrew being back home. Will, my older brother's back home too. And there's a collection of about 20 family and friends at the Brayshaw household. Mum and Dad put on a big spread. Sort of start looking around the table. Who's going to clean up? And there's me, myself, William and Andrew, Taj, Disco, Knuckle. And it's paper, scissors, rock. The losers, 3 people are going to have to wash the dishes. And so with this very much front of mind, I threw paper. Maxie Turner, Disco, also threw paper. 4 rocks. And
You got a household full of...
it was pandemonium ensued.
Household
and it
full
was
of
just
egos.
flat out. It was unbelievable.
So you got out of it with paper?
Unbelievable.
Well
Got
done,
out with
mate.
paper. And Knuckle was the next out and the only one out who changed to paper as well.
Wow.
They went rock again. Went rock.
Andrew doesn't scream like a dominant rock person.
Well, mate, he could have fooled me because rock, just like the rest of them did. Will, he's a rock. So I know him intimately. He's a rock guy.
He's a rock guy. He'll die before he changes from rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I also paper, scissors, rocked with sticks at Royal Melbourne on golf course.
And he's a rock man.
And he went rock.
Yeah.
And
You're going against Brayshaw tradition.
I know. I think it's going to be really.
I'd almost
effective.
rather do the dishes
It's
than
going to
go
be really
against
effective.
family tradition.
Well, I think that a few people died on that hill, so good on them.
Lastly, before we get to Big Dip, do you have anything more?
I've got a big one for Fight M&D. Obviously,
Yep.
Big Freeze game is coming up. First time in 2 years that the walk will be back from Fed Square.
Ooh.
Zurich Insurance bringing the walk to the G. So 11:30 a.m. fans can get down there at Fed Square. They leave at 1. Plenty of activities going on at Fed Square. Past players, current players will all be there. Not current players,
Where is
playing
it?
throughout the day. But Fed Square. Walk
Fed
to
Square
the
to the G, I think.
It's going to be at Fed Square.
Great walk. I've done it. And I mean, I'd love to do it again, but I feel like I might be at the G. Although, could get dropped.
You got to get there. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
could get dropped. I just want to quickly talk about my last week. Jesus, mood dropping. It's like, oh, what's he going to talk about?
Give me anything.
Suspense.
Let's get vulnerable. So little George has gone down.
Adam Tomlinson isn't enjoying the podcast because he just texted you.
Bad me.
Little George has gone down with a Rona.
Gone down.
Yeah, Georgie boy, not down. Sorry. Georgie boy's got his second round of COVID in 7 months. 7-month-old baby.
That's
And
devastating.
2-time COVID. So what I'm getting at is I was lucky enough to have some residence in Melbourne. So I moved up from the peninsula for the week. And Jess and George
Must be
remained in Blairgowrie. And we're both, all 3 of us are far away from being single. We've all been loved up for a while. I've got no idea what single people do between breakfast and lunch. I want to know what single people do from breakfast to lunch. So I had breakfast at 7 and lunch at midday because I had to have it early because I had nothing else to do. So I had 5 hours sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I watched 9 episodes of the US off Office, and I've
the
clocked
wrong
it.
Office.
I've clocked that 3 times.
That's the wrong office. What I think we can do is, I'm sure there's single people listening. You know, there was
I'm not
one-
single anymore,
I'm sure there's single people listening.
Okay.
Just text us in.
but I don't need to know anymore.
Well, I think it's more an interest thing.
Okay,
like,
yep.
what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd love to know. And like, I wasn't as bored at night time. Like, there's stuff on TV, and it seems more of a time to be watching TV at night.
Yeah,
like Maisie said, play Xbox. I'm like, I'm so conditioned not to play games at all. / at 9 a.m. in the morning. I
Don't
feel
you
like
play
I'm ruining my day.
the Tour de France simulator?
That's a
where
great game.
You spend
I
literal
don't want
hours.
to hear another bad word about that
I
game.
didn't say a single bad word about it.
And the other thing
Understood.
is, Maisie said go for a walk. What? There's no way people who don't have a dog walk.
Yeah, I mean,
What are you doing walking?
I don't know, Stephen May.
Do you have a dog?
No.
Do you go for walks?
To the shops, to Woolworths.
Well, even that's a push.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, people message in. We've got a guest here who we should get to
Yeah.
now.
Sorry.
And
Very rude.
maybe we go to a break and come back after that.
All right. Now, Gus, we all know the team at Zurich Insurance are proud sponsors of the Gus and Gawny podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Huge supporters of the pod. I think they were our first sponsor and certainly our first platinum partner, which is a huge result.
Yes, and they've also been on board as a co-principal partner of the club since 2018 and have been protecting Australia for over 100 years.
That's right. They provide insurance for individuals and families, plus businesses large and small.
Now, Gussie, we know you're a big fan of protection, rocking your helmet at every chance you get, so this is very on brand for you.
You're absolutely right. To see how Zurich can support you, head to zurich.com.au or contact your financial advisor or broker.
Welcome back to Gus and Gawny. We cannot do this,
Physically
literally
not possible.
cannot do this without the sponsors.
It's impossible.
Firstly, I want to thank, on their own, up in Platinum, Zurich. What would you use Zurich for?
Well, I mean, I the other week was thinking, gee, I really need some insurance, and then bang, Zurich, all your insurance needs.
Zurich popped up.
They popped up.
Yep.
Go to the website, Zurich, www.zurich.com.
No, I'll trump you what I did.
Go on.
I was also looking for some insurance and looked up that on my phone while having a Palmer and a pot at the Sporting Globe.
That's there you go. Doing. Unreal. So, I mean, they're also great friends of ours, obviously. I tell you what, while we're on sponsorship, it's worth noting that Gus and Gawny, as a podcast, have sponsored young Max Turner and Knuckle McVie. We're official player sponsors, bronze level player sponsors for the year 2022. Hopefully beyond, it's going to be an exciting.
And before we get to our guest, what we want to do is Disco Turner in particular. We
bought low there. His stocks have flown up.
We feel like Disco, like if those people that love their Twitter, like on the Twitter this week was just some Disco Turner highlights. Like it was
disco.
So we bought low, and we're thinking he doesn't have a platinum sponsor. So we're thinking maybe Gus and Gawny will try and think of some sort of
crowdfunded.
All of a sudden, Disco has 400 friends of the podcast people sponsoring him.
What is a player? How much does that cost, a platinum sponsor?
I reckon it's in around the 5K mark.
Well, if every one of our followers donates 50 cents, we're home.
And then bang, we're all sponsoring him. And then you can get we don't want to go to the best and fairest as the platinum sponsor. We'll do some sort of contest where they can raffle off and they're Disco sponsors.
I would love that. There. So we'll work on that. But we've actually got Adam Tomlinson in, so we should probably get to that. Tomo.
Sorry,
two-time.
Hello,
welcome back.
I think you're the fourth two-timer.
Puts you up in rare air up there.
I can remember we were speaking about Ron Barassi and it was just before the Anzac game last time.
Jeez, we were serious last year.
Yeah. It was just before the Anzac game. That was why I was on.
Didn't we talk about potentially you doing a segment for us going forward? You were going to be like the celebrity. So this is your chance. Obviously, you've come in with some notes and whatnot. So what's happening in the world?
Was it Celebrity Watch?
What's it? It was just some sort of goss. You're the man about town.
No, I don't have anything. I wish I had some heads up only.
Look, that's all right. And some people do well when they're not prepared.
Yep.
Some people don't. That's all right. I do want to tick off quickly before we get into some serious stuff. Any small businesses you're affiliated with? We've got a long list of sponsors that we didn't read out, but Clutch & Co.'s one, Squash, BFI, Bailey Fritz Late School.
East End Wine Bar, Oliver Lodge.
I'll throw Guzman and Gomez in there. They provide a lot of food for us at lunch and
so you
have worked closely with them for a few years.
It does have a little percentage, I think.
You've got a percentage of...
Oh, no. I mean, it doesn't even count.
Okay, well, leave it with us. We'll get on to Spargs. And
0.23%.
All right, we'll get on to Spargs there. But, Tomo, we've got you in. You've just started, I think, what can only be described as a really, really good push-up challenge for an awesome cause, which I got caught up in. I thought it was one push-up day one, two push-ups day through.
Let's set the scene. I got up in front of the group on Monday and just said, look, guys, I'm doing the push-up challenge. For everyone who doesn't know, it's supporting mental health, and all the money raised will go to Lifeline Australia. And Gus goes, that can't be too bad. And turns to the person next to him, you do one on day one, two on day two.
I can do that.
All the way through to day 30. 31? How many days in June?
June has 30
days as April, June, September, and November. All the rest have 31, except February that has 28 and 29.
Good on you, man.
Unfortunately, Gus didn't realise that you have to do 3,139 push-ups in 24 days.
In hindsight.
That's a lot of push-ups.
That's a lot of push-ups.
It's
not even in hindsight.
130.2.
What do we do come game day afterwards?
We actually get a few days off.
No, game day afterwards, we're going to do it.
No, but if you looked at the dashboard when you signed up, Max, you would have seen that they allocate push-ups and you get Saturdays off.
Okay, how do people donate?
They can go to my Instagram and then the link's in the bio, and that takes them to the Part-Time Athlete Full-Time Push-Up, which is our group.
What's your Insta handle?
At Adam Tomlinson 20.
Give him a follow.
Thank you.
Give him a follow. Gus and Gawny will also
But
read
no,
post
so
that
the
stuff.
cause is for mental health and suicide because obviously the number 3,139 is the amount of lives lost through suicide in 2020, and that number has grown significantly since then. So we'll be doing it.
Shocking stat. So all jokes aside, I'm excited to be involved. I'm pushing up. You're in the group as well? We've also got Jake Melksham,
Yes.
Bill Laurie,
Stephen May,
Big Dugong, and Michaela, one of
and
our...
we've got JT, the property steward. He's in.
JT.
JT's
We've got a good little crew.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Got up this morning, pumped out 30,
Yep.
and thought, gee, this is going to be a long 24 days.
Yeah, well, they've given it to us easy today. So today we have to do 74, but if you average it out, it's 130 days. So it means later on in the week, we're going to have to get well above 160, 200 push-ups in the day.
Do we do it in the morning? Do we win the morning?
I think that's the only time I'm
Yeah.
ever going to win the morning with you guys.
Yeah,
on
well,
Tuesday.
mate,
Well, we're not going to do anything else. We're just going to come in and do push-ups.
We do come here and just chat, so we might as well get involved.
Yeah.
may as well.
Do you still win the morning? Is that still a thing?
Yeah. I send the photo in every week.
Do people do that still?
We got about 15 last time.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the young boys.
There you go.
It's more a young boy thing.
And you still?
Yeah, look,
It's
it's,
still the spiritual. Are you looking to hand that on somehow?
Dogger has fallen a little bit off pace.
Okay.
So,
Disco is a shining light. Surely.
Disco is he's.
Disco Turner.
Well, I mean, we bought stocks of Disco at an all-time
And I
low,
can't wait
they
to be
are
platinum.
flying up.
I want to talk about a few things. It's a great cause, and I can't wait to do push-ups with you. Last time we spoke to you, you were single. No, sorry,
I wasn't single.
Can't have been single.
wasn't single. Was not a fiance.
De facto.
You're
would
in
you say
de facto relationship.
relationship.
You're in a de facto
at that
relationship.
point?
Sure.
So you're
now
engaged.
I'm engaged.
How did you do it?
Yeah, thank you. It's old news now. I'm sure everyone who listens knows.
Just tell it. I wouldn't know the intimate details, which is what you're
we're
going
in
to give
Sydney. It happened at North Bondi.
Yep.
Apparently, it was a big surprise, but I'm sure she saw it coming. And yes, get married in December.
Now, I just want to flag something and
Please.
say yes, say no, say maybe. What I think is going to be, I'll think about it. I'll go talk to Cass. I think that's what you're going to say. Is we're starting a wedding company where if you look in the room, apart from our boss over there that isn't as talented as the other four, you got two MCs / best mans / we can cut the cake. We can do all sorts.
slash firelighters, like energy.
I'll be
providers.
completely honest. Your names come up to be the MC, and then
As Gus and Gawny or as...
no, well, as Max,
Gawny.
and Cass goes, no, he'll make it too much about himself.
Yeah.
But we've got a videographer and we've also got a photo taker / helper.
And we've also got flowers through Claire.
Flowers.
She's providing the flowers for our wedding.
Oh, well,
Wow,
what's the
she
name of the
can-
flower company?
She can come in on the...
Good rope out.
Okay, so what you're saying is you'll think about it.
I'll think about it.
Just
but
think Wedding Crashers, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn.
was on last night.
Unreal movie.
How's your knee?
Knee's great.
10 months? Was it 10 months? That's
No,
a-
I got back playing in just under 9.
Wow.
Far out.
It was 12 months at the start of May. So yeah,
Took me 15 months. It took you 9. That's incredible. Well
Different
done.
athletes.
It's a credit to you. Credit to yourself.
Probably different athletes.
But it's good now?
Yeah, it's great.
I've seen you. Have you had a corky in it this
Yeah,
week?
just above it.
Yeah, right.
It was a combative game on the weekend. And not really what you want, but it's just one of those things.
Well, are you prepared to come up potentially to take the big
Not
dugongs?
potentially. Just hold
Is it
on
locked
2
in?
seconds. This morning in the press conference, I've never given anything away in a press conference ever in my life, Simon Goodwin.
Yeah.
Just let it slip. The Tomo's playing.
And
we can go with it.
We get in trouble for letting it slip
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah, well, I mean,
he actually told me before training too, which is very not Simon Goodwin like to do.
Oh, well, good on him.
Normally you wait till the end of the day and he gives you the tap on the shoulder. But
Yeah.
fortunately,
it's a
So you'll
nervous
be
way.
watching the tribunal case tonight then? Yep.
definitely.
Have you played on Buddy before?
Yes, he kicked his 800th goal on me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, at
Wow.
at the SCG.
How many did he kick on you that day?
Just one.
Just one.
Hey.
Apparently it was a free kick.
Oh.
Phil went off the ground and he came back on and said, there you go, Phil. So,
Yeah.
enjoy.
There you go, Phil. Well, good on you. No, that's exciting. Who so you probably play on Sam Reed then, if not
Yep.
Big Budweiser.
Well, Logan.
Another code
Logan.
number 20.
Yeah, okay.
Logan McDonald, number 2 draft pick, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then also they've got tools galore that could come in. So who knows who you could play on. Leon Cameron. Obviously,
Oh, no.
technically Kevin Sheedy was Tomo's first coach.
Yeah.
There's a bit of grey area on how much Kevin did. But Leon Cameron for 10 years was your senior coach, and he's now been told to move on. Did you send him a text?
Spoke to him on the phone on that Thursday after he resigned, so it was good to have a chat. And I just said, thanks for everything you've done. You developed the club and the players better than anyone else could. So I was very close with him. It was the first time I probably called him Noel on the phone because you weren't allowed to call him Noel in the.
Is his name Noel?
No, it's Leon, but Noel was backwards.
Come on, Maxwell. Come on.
Well, you're scoffing at me for asking a serious footy
No,
question.
well, I'm just waiting for the. What other completely random questions are you on there? Tomo, you're a golfer. How's your golf?
Hold on,
going?
Leon Cameron lost his job a week and a half ago.
I
It's the most topical thing in football.
We can once we finish this, we can go to golf because then we can go to Zurich because you know what happened during the week.
Oh, I do.
But yeah.
Well, this is finished. Let's go to golf.
Okay. Someone broke
Couldn't care about topical football issues. Don't worry.
Zurich.
Zurich insurance. We need it.
Oh, yes.
We need some insurance.
Oh, well, did they do golf club
They
insurance?
better. I bet.
Oh, well.
They,
Is TaylorMade a sponsor?
I mean, not a personal one of mine, but
can we get Gus and Gawny TaylorMade sponsorship? We'll see, but go on. So
I think you know where I'm going.
I do.
Obviously, someone's broken into the tray of my
I'd
car.
rather Callaway. I love my Callaways.
Okay.
Okay, I love my Callaway Rogue driver. So
There you go.
and yeah, they pinched my clubs.
So
Sorry, what happened?
They broke into the tray on my car and stole my clubs.
Where was your car on the street?
Yeah, just at the front of my house.
Who was in the driveway?
Who do you think?
the boss.
The fiance.
Yeah.
So that's devastating.
Yes.
Because your golf game's in good nick as well.
Oh, I reckon it slowly might be slipping away,
I think it probably has to if you don't have clubs for the foreseeable future.
but I'm not going to play a comp again until I'm confident that I can score well.
Yeah, fair point.
What'd you get yourself down to?
5.4,
What are you now?
6.1.
Understood. What are you?
20 point something.
Yeah, nice.
When you're in the 20s, your points don't really matter.
Doesn't matter as
No,
much.
you just say 20. Last little topic that I wanted to talk about. Not sure if you had much more.
Nah,
It's
all
been
my
a bit
notes
of
are
a,
done.
been a bit of a quick fire podcast, around the half an hour.
I've ticked my notes off.
Gibby's grandma will be happy.
And a Gibby.
One thing we share in common, we share a few things in common. Well, one thing we share in common is we love bacon and egg rolls. So, Gus, you're not in this.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
How are you not?
He hates egg.
Not an egg.
He's like Porter.
guy.
What do you mean?
Remember
So
Porter?
eggs,
Porter goes to
the food, I don't like it.
Porter goes to the cafe and orders 5 sides, no
Big
eggs.
house.
No eggs. He's bizarre.
He's 200 centimetres of house. He can do what he wants. Speaking of, spinal fusion as well. No
Yeah,
good.
no good.
Well, speaking of, I've got his golf clubs and they're too hard to hit, so
Yeah.
we can have them back.
Well,
Speaking
speaking of. Sorry. And what I did last night, and I've been creating this list a little bit in my head, but I thought I'd put it to paper last night,
Sure.
is the best bacon and egg rolls in town. And I asked you to send me your 5, and we're very similar because we both live in the peninsula at times. And
Inch boys.
Funny enough, so Max and I would drive together from the peninsula to training on Saturday mornings in pre-season.
Yeah.
And he would go and buy 2 of the biggest bacon and egg rolls from Cheeky Monkeys, and we would scoff them within 2 seconds and then get on our merry way and go back down to the beach.
So Cheeky Monkeys has to be on there.
So my number 1, actually I'll go 10 down to 1. You give me your 5 first.
I gave him my 5 last night.
Okay, he's not ready. So 10's Lost Chickers, beautiful place in Balaclava. They do a great bacon and egg roll. Don't need to go too much into 10 because they're 10. 9, Bissell B, bagel place, Richmond. 8, a place called Beggs and Aiken. What a great name.
Higgs and Aiken. Have you? None. Hasn't hit any from Tomo's list
No.
yet.
Oh, no, a few, not yet.
7,
I only did 5.
Reunion and Co. in Richmond. Do a great bacon and egg burger. 6, Huff Bagelry. Slight difference because it's a bagel.
Also
but
in Richmond?
no, Huff Bagelry's in Carnegie.
Understood.
1,000 Blessings. We're back to
I reckon
Richmond.
we've gone 5 out of...
Cheeky Monkey.
Also
Back to Richmond. Cunha General Store, Peninsula. They do a great bacon and egg roll. Souls, new on the block. There's about 3 of them. They do a ripping eggplant parma, chicken parma and an eggplant parma sandwich. But the bacon and egg roll is what I'm talking about. And number 1, easily by far, not even a contest, not in Tomo's list apparently. Near Chanston, East Malvern, there's a place called Jake and the Beanstalk. It does the best bacon and egg roll in town.
Okay. Well, I'll go try some of them and come back.
Well,
to
you'll have to get it without the egg, but
Does Macca's get a look in?
no. But what does is Guzman and Gomez.
Yes.
Guzman and Gomez do an interesting takeaway bacon and egg roll. Have you ever done that?
They also do a great brekkie burrito,
Yeah.
bacon and egg burrito.
Yeah,
Were any of them yours?
I had Cheeky Monkeys, Cunha General Store.
Yep. So we both got Cunha. Both
My
got
oh
cheekies.
my on Swan Street does a great bacon egg roll.
Again.
In Richmond.
Yep.
And then Souls and St Paul's.
Well,
down
he's got
the
Souls
beach.
as well. St Paul's.
St Paul's down
But
the
St
beach.
Paul's the only, like I love St Paul's. They're a great place down there and down the peninsula, down Serena. Brioche. Brioche is where you have to nail the brioche,
Sure.
you know?
Well, I have to imagine the consistency of the egg lends itself to...
I have to also put it in. I get a hash brown, put in most of my bacon.
If we go through that 10, there's one brioche. So
Yeah, okay. And they're all in Richmond. So look...
they're not all in Richmond. I've named the Carnegie. I've named the Mornington Peninsula. I've named Denise Melbourne.
Yeah, understood. Okay, well, that was... So where's that? So it sounds like I'm going to Cheeky Monkeys or...
I still can't get over the fact you don't like egg.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pre-born chicken fetus. What don't you understand about it?
It's
You know what I worked out the other day for the first time?
Go on.
Salmonella is from anything that flies. So any like bird.
Like an aeroplane?
Well, this is what I deal with every single day.
does have you there.
What, I eat Superman's arm. I'm going to
Anything that flies. Oh, the space shuttle. Voyager.
So I just thought salmonella was like chicken, but you get salmonella from duck.
Can
Like if you
chickens
ate
fly?
a pigeon.
Sorry, what was that?
Chickens fly?
How about there's this fish, and this is the truth, that there's a flying
Can
fish.
chickens fly?
I think they can
they?
maintain air. Can they? They can maintain air travel.
Have
for
you
a
seen
few
Chicken
feet.
Run?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah. Sorry. Great call.
Oh, what? The animation. We're going by the animation.
You know the
of it.
first animal in space was a dog?
Yeah.
So if you eat dog, will that get you some salmonella or?
Okay, we're going a little bit too far. You were talking about, what were you talking about?
Tomo said he can't believe that I
Don't like
Oh,
eggs.
yeah,
And
the
I
chicken
said
fetus.
Pre-born
And
chicken
then that
fetus
reminded me of
isn't exactly-
salmonella.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Look, I'm going to go to Cheeky
Do
Monkeys.
you eat cheesecakes?
Yeah, I do.
Sorry, we.
Egg on its own is just a weird consistency.
Oh, but if it's mixed into a cake, you'll have it.
Oh, you know I'll have it. Oh, why are you all laughing as if you've never had a cake before?
No, well, I
we
had
don't
eggs on
sit here and
toast
say
as
we
well.
won't have eggs.
Okay, well, look. I just don't. I'm not. The consistency, the taste is a bit weird.
I get a half-cooked poached egg. I don't like that.
Okay, so then you get the principle.
A scrambled egg
What about if you scramble it with milk and butter
and cheese.
Look, fellas,
You get the itty jitteries.
I'm just not a consistency guy.
Yeah, what did I say? The itty jitteries.
That's probably where we have to
What
leave
was
that one.
what was the saying I was trying to get at the start? The camel that broke
Gawny,
the cat's back.
We were
What is
talking
it?
about the how we can't name his sponsor because they're not ticked off by the powers that be, and he said it's the something that broke the camel's.
It was the camel that broke the cat's
the
back.
camels that broke the cat's back. Or something
What's the
like that.
saying?
Gawny said, "That's it. We're leaving. We're done." That's
not the saying.
What is the
I know
saying?
it. It's
Isn't
the
it
straw
the straw that
broke the camel's back.
No,
Not the
there's
camel.
no
that
cat involved at all.
The cat's no.
There's no
the
cat in
the
that
cat's
story
nowhere
at all.
near it.
There you go.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Anyway, that was the end of the podcast. We had a ripping day today. It rained literally to the minute of us about to go out and train, and then the rain went
I
away.
actually got hot.
And there was a bit of sunlight out there, so it was nice out there today. We're ready. Tomo's back.
We're about to go do some push-ups after this for a great cause.
Do you want to pump out 10 now?
No, because there's a few people waiting.
Okay, we're not going to.
Understood. Well, thanks very much for coming on, mate.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
And I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
All right.